Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to our first match of Jank Tank the Champions. If you like this sort of content, please make sure to like, subscribe and ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on the latest content. Now, of course, this is our last match of 2024. Can't believe that. I hope you guys also had a great Christmas as well. I forgot to mention that in yesterday's video because of the fact that I filmed that like a month ago. But the rest of Jank Tank the Champions will be in 2025, which is kind of spooky. But anyways, on to the decks of the day. We have an EX3 match today. Two decks that debuted in EX3 having a little bit of a tussle. We have got Red Purple Imperialdramon, the winner of Jank Tank 7, being piloted by Alex, taking on Aegisdramon, piloted by Sam, which was the winner of Jank Tank 5. Who's going to win in this battle between the EX3 decks? Let's find out in a commentary battle. So this is going to be a commentary battle because of the fact that we had no audio recorded during Jank Tank the Champions, which was a real shame because, you know, I usually like keeping the banter in. But anyways, I'm now prattling over the cards. But basically, we have now started building up our stack at the back with Sam. He's gone on top of the Bukamon with the Gomamon and the Seedramon. Alex did not find a rookie in his first turn, so he's hard played the Shadramon in an effort just to have something on board. Sam then playing the Davis just to make sure he can get a little search, get some consistency, revealing the Penguinmon, the Huankunmon, and the Jichaomon, which he does add there to get himself an additional level 4. Has that on-play draw as well, which is quite handy, as well as the Inheritable of Jamming, and his deck loves himself some jam. Alex swinging into security here for the first check, just with the Shadramon, hits a mental training, so he does keep his Shadramon on board, and then plays out an additional Shadramon, as he's still not managed to find a rookie, which is very rough. Sam pushing up here, of course, goes into the mental training to go into the Huankunmon. He's got to play a level 3 from his sources, get 2 draws off of the Gomamon for that consistency. Really nice. Then he's going to have a cheeky swing with the Gomamon. It's not going to die because Wormmon is too small. Gomamon is quite a chunky level 3 at 3k DP. So in that instance, actually did do him quite some good use. Sam then just having a little check over what he wants to do next, and he's having a look at a specific card in his hand, which I believe is the Huankunmon. Yep, he's going into oh no, the Xiaopengmon, I think is how you say it. Sorry, not Huankunmon. I got that wrong immediately. But he goes into the Xiaopengmon. He's going to plonk his Gomamon back underneath. And then he bottom decks the 2 there, which I want to double check actually, because was that a legal play? No, it's not an illegal play because it's level 4 or lower, and then for each Digimon that you put under, you increase the level. But he is going to play out the Huankunmon, which then lets him play out that Gomamon for 2 more draws, which is just a cheeky little engine. Obviously, we know how good that Huankunmon is because it is used in Mirage. Now, we were obviously a little bit looser with the meta engine rule in this, but maybe next year Aegisdramon is not going to be using Huankunmon, perhaps. But then again, at the same time, Huankunmon is meant to be in the Aegisdramon deck, not in the Mirage deck. Going in for a check, and unfortunately does hit Imperialdramon, which is far too big for Shangpengmon. I practiced that name so many times, I'm still getting it wrong, to handle. And he's going to play the Jichaomon to get a draw. Alex playing the Analog Youth just to make sure to get a search, and he's finally found some rookies, and he will be able to get one of those rookies in the trash. He's added the Wormmon, gets the rest of the trash, and that is a good thing. Goes into that Wormmon. Unfortunately doesn't have any level 4s in there to digivolve into as part of the start of main, which, you know, is a little bit of a downside, but you know, sometimes just how it goes. Sometimes Red Purple Imperialdramon works really well, and sometimes it just has a little bit of trouble getting started. Plays out a Wormmon as an additional rookie there. Sam now building up his next stack in the back, having lost his Shangpengmon, going into a Biomon on top of his Buka to get that Inheritable of Jamming. Having a little look through his hand, good old slow play Sam at it again. You know, it just works. It's alliterative. He's slow play Sam. You know. We're all calling them that on the night for this as well. Goes into the mental training, which I had to double check because it looks green on camera. I thought it might have been agility training, but it's not. It is mental training. And he added himself the I think it was the Seedramon there he added. I wasn't paying attention too much. Obviously, you guys saw what it was. Then he's going to go into the Mega Seedramon, which is a kind of a bit of an MVP in Sam's deck, you know, because you could just bottom deck anything if you've got the right stuff on board. And he does bottom deck that Wormmon. And then Alex brings out his second Wormmon that was in the back, goes into the Shadramon, which allows him to play the Wormmon in his trash to get a search. Very nice, gets himself a Shadramon. Not another hit to put in the trash, unfortunately, because I believe that is what the Wormmon does. You search and then you put something in the trash. You'd think I would have read all of this stuff up, but I have not had time. But he is going to add that Shadramon, so he's got a potential setup for DNA plays if he manages to survive here. And he's going to suspend that Aegisdramon with his Shadra. Unfortunately, does get hit by the Ace, Vicmon Ace, which is going to de-digivolve that Shadramon into a Wormmon. It's going to make it a lot less survivable going into security, and it does hit a Gomamon, which, as we mentioned before, flip reverse this time, the 3k is too big for the Wormmon to deal with. They will have noticed there, I forgot to mention, that the camera is moving. It's like the camera decided it just wanted to be on the high seas because of Sam's deck, and it just keeps moving. I don't know what caused that, but it's very funny because the very first Jank Tank also had that issue, and all of a sudden it's back. And trust me, this is not the only time where the camera will be moving during this tournament. Check the third match, episode 4, when that comes out. There's definitely a bit of a maneuver of the camera in that, which is not great. But Alex has got a bit more of a board this time, but he is going to start having stuff cleared by that Vicmon. It does delete when attacking, unsuspends by putting the Biom underneath, and that when attacking is not once per turn. So he then can also delete the Shadramon, hits into security. All of Alex's rookies have been in the security, all of them, which really sucks. That really sucks for his consistency, really sucks just in general, because there's no big bombs in there, especially that Vicmon. I mean, it does have jamming, but maybe an option in his deck would have been nice. I can't remember if he plays any in his build. But he does go into the Aegisdramon now. He's going to play. He thinks about playing the Aegisdramon, but then realizes his Hwankunmon is the better play, because if he bottom decks the Vmon, he will then be getting rid of his stack and giving overflow, which won't be ideal. And instead, Hwankunmon will not only be a body itself being played out, but also will then play out the Gomamon to get 2 more draws and have an additional body. And now Alex has got 3 bodies on the board to deal with, including the Aegisdramon, which of course is massive, and has that opponent's turn effect if he does play anything out. But he is in a bit of a sticky position here, because if he takes out the Aegisdramon, then there's 2 bodies still to deal with. And if he takes out the other 2 things, then Aegisdramon could potentially punish him for when he plays something. Out comes the Vmon into the raising, just to get a little bit of something in the stack and get a draw. Alex having a little think about his options here. I know what he's about to play. I think he's about to play something. Or is that later in the match? I can't remember. We'll find out in a second. That's how videos work. Just things get played and things happen, and and all that sort of stuff. But he's looking in his trash, seeing what's going on, seeing if he's got anything going, that could be used. He is only on 1 memory as well. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, so this is what I was thinking of. He plays the Crimson mode, and obviously this deletes 15k or less. Deletes the 2 bodies because of the fact that the Aegisdramon will essentially be 1 body, but it does play out something because it triggers its when digivolving effect on the turn. Then Sam here, actually this seems a little bit like a very cool thing to do. He's got to place the Aegisdramon underneath to bottom deck the Crimson mode, but actually that prevented him from having game next turn, potentially. If he didn't have a level 6 and didn't have a rookie, he wouldn't have been able to swing for game. But Alex does scoop here after having the Crimson mode bottom decked. On to game 2 now, and very similar opener to this one. Shadramon being hard played out. Unfortunately, no rookies again in Alex's hand. Just did not. Sometimes we just get hit by bricks. And then a very similar stack in the back being built up by Sam, which is the Bukamon going up into the Betamon, going up into the Siegramon. This is kind of a bit of a canonical evolution by the looks of it, which is quite cool. Then having a little think what he wants to do, because he could go into a level 5 in the back. Instead decides to go into Davis. This is literally the same as his turn 1 last time. Searches, adds the Siegramon, the promo Siegramon, which obviously is one of the best cards in the deck, an absolute keystone part of the strategy. The reason why that card is very expensive. Alex then having a think. He's only got 1 memory. He's not going over any rookies. Swings in. His Shadramon does survive. which is nice. So it's still on board. And he decides to Digivolve that into Balmon, which is his tech card, which when the Balmon goes off is a really nice tech choice in Red Purple Imperialdramon. You know, you play the Beelzemon in there. If the Balmon does die, you can play it out later with the Dino Bee, which is really nice. Oh, and here goes Sam. He plays the Waru Seedramon. I get confused over the Seedramons. They're both red and they're both level 5s. But this one is the one that plays out the Betamon. And the Betamon, of course, being played by an effect, does stun that Balmon. So that Balmon is not going to be getting off its when attacking that I was just explaining before Sam rudely interrupted me. You know, but the Balmon, going back to that, can essentially play out a Beelzemon. As part of its kind of effects, which is really cool if you've got enough stuff in trash, which right now Alex doesn't, but if you manage to get there later in the game, then you could. And the Dino Beemon from BT16 can actually play out that Balmon because it plays out a level 5 or lower, and then goes from there. But yeah, continuing on from here, Slow Play Sam at it again, has literally done nothing whilst I've been explaining all that sort of stuff. There you go, now he's doing stuff. He swings into the Balmon, because he is big enough to clear that. And then having a little think about what he wants to do now, because he is on 0, so there's not too much he can do from here. And he is going to Digivolve into Plesiomon, which is going to let him put play something out, and then I believe put something under as well. Is that how it works? Yeah, that's how it works. Puts the Seedramon out. So he plays the Seedramon out and puts the Seedramon underneath. So he's replaced the Seedramon he lost, essentially. Then Alex now on 3 memory. He's not got a lot going on. He's going to hard play Valkyremon Ace, which does clear the Betamon and the Seedramon. You know, it's a shame that Valkyremon's -5 does not last. Well, I say it's not. It's a shame. In this specific situation, it's a shame it doesn't last 2 turns. If it did last 2 turns, that would be busted. And I think Valkyremon Ace, which is already a tentative card in the Jank Tank format, in terms of the ban list, would absolutely be banned if it's 5,000 DP minus lasted for more than 1 turn. But there it is. It is on the field. Sam has gone into a Penguinmon in the back. Once again, he's being a little bit slower, being a little bit more methodical, one might say. Slow play Sam. At it again, and I'll keep making that joke because it just works. Slow play Sam, it just rolls off the tongue. I've known him for 3 decades of my life, and he's always been a little bit of a slow player, you know. And if he's watching this and listening to this, he's probably going to moan to me immediately after saying I'm not a slow player compared to you. But anyways. He's gone into the Seedramon now. He goes into mental trainings, adds another Seedramon. He's just Seedramon mad. He's obsessed with the Seedramons. It's just constant Seedramons in this build. You know, which of course was the entire point of why he got into Aegisdramon. Seedramon was one of his favourite Digimon growing up, and you know, he wanted to make this deck as soon as he got into the card game. Goes into another mental training. He's going to add the, I believe he has the Beamon. Yep. So it gives himself that additional rookie, as well as another way of getting jamming, which is pretty cool. And leaves Alex on 2, I believe. Yep. So Valkyremon's going to swing in, hits the Beamon, which does give the Valkyrie security tap +1, and hits the Gomamon. A lot of tiny things in the security this time for Sam. And then plays the Shadramon just to have that level 5 on board. Still, no rookies. These deep into the game and no rookies. It's absolutely a rough night at the office for Alex, unfortunately, on this one, which I can absolutely, you know, empathize with. I hate it. The one thing I hate more in Digimon is when you brick and you can't control bricking because you can't control the deck. If you did, you'd be cheating. Sam here then goes into the Aegisdramon on top of his Plesio, plays out the Waru Seedramon, which you might be thinking, he's looking at his stacks and he's thinking, oh yeah, okay, you're going to play out something with that Waru Seedramon from one of your stacks, aren't you? However, he doesn't realise he can do this until a little bit later. So we'll get into when so he's now swinging in with the Aegisdramon into the Valkyremon, gets the overflow, then realises he had the on-play to trigger, so they go back a bit, you know, which is very kind of Alex. He could have punished him then. Plays out the Penguinmon so he can place the level 3 underneath and get a draw, and I believe he's going to place the Beomon underneath to get that jamming, which is nice. Obviously, he's got Rush on everything as well, I think, because of the Promo Seedramon underneath his Aegis. So everything has got Rush, which is pretty nice. you know, and obviously gained that overflow as well. So this is Sam's looking in a very strong spot, which I think could have been a lot harder for him to get to if Alex had not bricked. Real shame that Alex bricked this hard, you know, in 2 games in a row as well, which does suck. Then goes into the Megaseedramon. Megaseedramon is then going to place something underneath. It'll be the Waru in this case, because it has to be something that's higher than the Shadra to bottom deck it, and bottom decks that Shadramon. Has completely cleared the board, and has 3 bodies on there, and still has plenty of memory as well. Plenty of memory to still kind of work around. So it has still has plenty of stuff he can still do. He is now going to keep slow playing. He's slow play Sam. What did I say? Slow play Sam. He's just taking ages. Even spent this is 2 times speed. It's 2 times. He goes into Jank Pengmon now, and he then initiates the Jank Pen, and then realizes that's a stupid thing to do, because all of a sudden he's cleared his own board without clearing Sam's board, Alex's board, which is just stupid. So he just panicked. He just wanted to do the effect, and he did not need to. And this is why, because now he's swung into security. He's managed to put his Penguinmon underneath the Jank Pengmon, and then get an additional swing in through the unsuspend. So he very nearly completely fucked it just then. just came very close. Then plays the Betamon out, just to leave Alex on 2, and we are not in a good way for Alex right here. He's, you know, checking what's going on there, and yeah, just scoops. I mean, technically there was no game put there. That would have been, you know, Sam would have been getting game there, but at the same time, if you're bricking that hard, there's not really much else you could do, and I completely get it. But that is the full match there, all sped up for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and apologies if you guys aren't fans of the commentary format. I don't usually do commentary formats on these, but given the circumstances where we had no audio recording for these at all, you know, it's just what it is. But yeah, Sam does move up in the rankings, and unfortunately that is the last we'll be seeing of our red purple Imperialdramon in this tournament. Sam will be moving up, and we'll have our next match, which is 2 more of the previous champions in a very skewed matchup. Or is it? We have Marsmon, the winner of Jank Tank 3, taking on Imperialdramon, the winner of Jank Tank 1, the most controversial deck in this tournament. Hope you guys strapped in for this coming episode, guys, and are looking forward to the remaining of Jank Tank the Champions. Like and subscribe, ding that notification bell, and seeming as we're going to be in 2025 by the time the next match comes out, Happy New Year, everyone, or in soon, I guess. Yeah, Happy New Year soon. Keep it digital. Bye.